I cannot explain why the teacher made the allegation she did.
This is the teacher that brought a student to your classroom, right?
Yes, she did bring him to me, but I was in the middle of the lesson when she was visibly upset. So I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Take him to the office? And she said, no, they won't do anything, which I didn't disagree because it's true. We didn't have the support. And I did say, when I turned to my class, even though my class had already heard everything he had done, because they were on carpet. My carpet was right by the door. They heard it. I turned around and I told them what he had done. And you gotta understand my thought process. Prior to this, I had a student who stole from us. She was always going into my purse. She was stealing from the backpacks. So one day I told my students, do y'all wanna go into her backpack and get her stuff? And her eyes, just the thought that, oh my God, now they're gonna take my things. And everybody said yes. And so I said, do you want us to take your stuff? She said, no. I said, well, then don't steal from us. They were supposed to I wanted her to be in their shoes and what it felt like someone taking your stuff. So when I turned to my class and I was telling them what the boy had done based on what teacher had just said, I said, well, what kind of consequence should he get? And mind you, we had already been doing 3 weeks of elections and voting and, different things. So I did say, I told them what kind of consequence should he get, and they all were throwing out, different, like timeout, no recess. And one, I remember he said he should get hit by the kids he hit. So in my mind, I immediately think of the backpack incident, and I turn around and I do, and I don't deny that I said, does anybody want to show what it feels like? But I was expecting the class to just say yes. And I would turn to him and say, would you want your friends to hit you? I was wanting him to be in their shoes. But I didn't get that far because the next thing I know, I heard the hit. It was very distinctive. You could tell she had hit him in the back because it was a distinct sound. And when I turned, if one student gets up, a few will get up, and some had gotten up, and, I turned right away, get away from him. And that was it. I just remember freaking out. The teacher, I looked at her, and she went back to the class and left them there. So I checked on him to make sure he was okay. He wasn't crying.